Hello students, in this video I'll tell you about correlation analysis. What is correlation, what are the different types of correlation, and how we can find out Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient. So correlation is a statistical tool which is used for measuring the degree of relationship between two or more variables. Whenever we have to see the relationship between two variables, we use correlation. When two variables move in same direction, they are said to be positively correlated. When two variables move in different direction, they are said to be negatively correlated. And the coefficient of correlation, the measure by which we measure the correlation, it's called coefficient of correlation. It is denoted by rho or rxy. So what are the different types of correlation? The first one is positive or direct correlation. When two variables move in same direction, means if one variable is increasing, the other variable is also increasing. If one variable is decreasing, the other variable is also decreasing. So that kind of correlation is called positive or direct correlation. For example, income and expenditure. If income is more, obviously your expenditure, you will spend more, right? Another example is temperature and sale of ice cream. If temperature is more, higher is the temperature, more will be the sale of ice cream. Like in summers, the sale of ice cream is more. The second type of correlation is negative or inverse correlation. So in this correlation, the two variables move in opposite direction. So if the value of one variable is increasing, the value of other variable will decrease. Okay, for example, price and demand. So if price of a certain variable increases, price of certain commodity increases, then its demand will be low because nobody likes to buy costly things. The third correlation is zero correlation. When there is no relationship between two variables, then that correlation is called zero correlation. For example, height and marks of students. Okay, it can happen that a taller person and a shorter person both score good marks. It can also happen that a taller person and a shorter person failed in a certain exam. So there is no correlation between height and marks of students. So now we'll see how we can find out Karl-Pearson coefficient of correlation. There are four methods which we'll discuss in this video. The first method is direct method 1. Okay, so this is the formula to find out Karl-Pearson coefficient of correlation. In this method, you will be given X series and Y series. You need to make 5 columns. First column of X series, second column of Y series, third column of X square, fourth column of Y square, and fifth column of XY. And you need to find out sum of all these series, okay? And you just have to put everything in this formula and you'll get the Karl-Pearson coefficient of correlation. Let's understand this with the help of example. Okay, so here in this example, export price Y is given and export quality X is given. So we'll make those 5 columns Y, X, Y square. Now what is Y square? We'll multiply Y 2 times. 2 into 2, 4, 3 into 3, 9, 6 into 6, 36, 5 into 5, 25, and so on. X square will multiply X, value of X series 2 times. 6 into 6, 36, 5 into 5, 25, 4 into 4, 16, and so on. And X into Y. So we'll multiply corresponding values of X and Y. 2 into 6, 12, 3 into 5, 15, 6 into 4, 24, and so on. And we'll find out the sum of all these series. Y series, sum of Y series 50, sum of X series 70, sum of Y square series 286, sum of X square series 526, sum of XY series 355. Okay, and we'll put all these values in this formula. What is n here? N is the total number of entries. So here number of entries are 10. So 10 multiply by summation xy. First multiply and then sum. So first multiply and then sum. 355. We'll put it here. Summation x. Summation x is 70. Summation y is 50. Divided by under root. What is n? Again 10. First square, summation x square. First square and then sum. So first square and then sum. This is 526. So we'll put it here. Minus summation x whole square. So first sum and then square. First sum 70 and then square. Similarly, we'll find it for y and we'll calculate this value. It will come out to be 0.139. So that's how we find Karl-Pearson coefficient of correlation. Next method is direct method 2. In this method, what we do, we take the we take the deviations of x and y series from actual arithmetic mean. We'll find out arithmetic mean and we'll take deviation from actual arithmetic mean. So firstly we need to find out x bar and y bar, and then we'll use this formula. Okay, let's see this. The same question I have taken here. So here I have y series, I have x series. I'll calculate y summation of y series, I'll calculate summation of x series, and I'll find out mean of each series. So x bar is come out to be 7 and y bar comes out to be 5. Now I need to take deviations. These are the deviation of y series, these are the deviation of x series. How will calculate the deviation of y series? Y minus mean y bar is 5, so y minus 5. So 2 minus 5 minus 3, 3 minus 5 minus 2, and so on, all the other series. Its sum will come out to be 0 always. Similarly, we'll find out deviations from x bar. So this is x minus 7 because x bar is 7. So we'll find out these deviations, and this mean also comes out to be 0. Now small y square is minus 3 into 3, 9, minus 2 into minus 2, 4, 1 into 1, 1, and so on, all the other terms. Small x square, minus 1 into minus 1, 1, minus 2 into minus 2, 4, minus 3 into minus 3, 9, and so on, all the terms. And we'll find out sum of y square and x square. And the last one is x into y, small x into small y. Small x is here, small y is minus 1 into minus 3, 3, minus 2 into minus 2, 4, minus 3 into 1, minus 3, and so on, all the other term. And its sum will come out to be 5. And we'll put all these values here in this formula. Summation xy, first multiply and then sum. So first multiply and then sum. The sum is 5. Under root summation x square, first square and then sum. So first square and then sum. So it's 36. Multiply by first square and then sum. First square and then sum. So it's coming out to be 36, and we'll put all these values here and it comes out to be 0.139. So these are the two direct methods to find Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient. Now the next method is a shortcut method to find Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient. So in this method we'll take the deviations from assumed mean. In previous method here we will taking deviations from actual mean, but here in this case we'll take deviation from assumed mean. We'll assume one of the number as mean and we'll take deviations from that particular number. These dx dy are the deviations only. So let's see by one example. Find the Karl-Pearson coefficient coefficient of correlation from the following data. Marks in economics are given, marks in accountancy is given. So we'll write it like this table: x and y. Marks in economics as x, marks in accountancy as y. Okay, and we'll take deviations from a particular number. Here we'll choose the middle number because number of entries here are 7, so middle one is 58. Okay, so I'll take 58 as my assumed mean. Okay, so the deviations are x minus 58. So 42 minus 58 minus 16, 44 minus 58 minus 14, and all the other terms. Then we'll find its sum. Similarly, we'll do it for y. Here y, for y series, the middle term is again 58. So y minus 58. So we'll find out deviations of y. Then you'll find dx square. This is dx. We'll square it. Then you'll find dy square. This is dy square. You'll square it. And then dx into dy. Dx into dy. So you'll put the multiply the corresponding term and put the values here. And we'll find the sum of all these series. And after finding the sum, we'll put everything in this formula. So what is n? N is 7. Summation dx dy, summation dx dy is 1006. We'll put here. Summation dx is 37. We'll put here. Summation dy is 9. We'll put here. Under root n again 7. Summation dx square, first square and then sum, 2449. First minus summation dx whole square, first sum and then square, first sum 37 and then square. Similarly we'll do it for y, and we'll put everything in this formula and we'll calculate it, and it will come out to be 0.9299, which is very high degree of correlation. So the next method is step deviation method. So it's similar to previous method. We'll take deviations from one particular value and then we'll divide by common factor. Whatever will be the common factor, we'll divide by that. If there is no common factor, then we'll not divide by anything and we'll take the deviations only, okay, in this formula. Let's see one example. So x series is given, we'll write x series like this. Y series is given, we'll write y series here. You will take deviations from one particular value. Now you have to, there are 10 entries, you have to choose between 700 and 780 because middle one are these two. So among these two you can choose 700 or 780, okay, but I have calculated some here and some here comes out to be 7280 and mean of x bar comes out to be 728. So 700 is nearer to 728. So I have taken my deviations from 700 only, okay. I have taken the assumed mean to be 700. So I have taken the deviation from this point. So 590 minus 700 minus 110, 600 minus 700 minus 100, 610 minus 700 minus 90, and so on, all the other terms, okay. Now here you can see the common factor here is 10, right? Everything is divisible by 10 here in this column. So the common factor is 10, so we'll divide by common factor and we'll find out d dash x. So this is d dash x. Now dy, again I have to choose between 115 and 125. Okay, so here also 125 is nearer to mean of y series, so I'll choose 125 and we'll take deviation from 125 here. Next d dash x square, okay, you'll multiply this 2 times, minus 11 to minus 11 121, minus 10 into minus 10 100, and so on, all other terms. Now here in dy there is no common factor, right? You can easily see there is a no common factor here, so we cannot find d dash y. Okay, so we'll keep dy as it is, we'll not find out d dash y. And dy square is minus 25 into minus 25 625, minus 25 into minus 625, minus 18 into minus 18 324, and so on, all other terms. And last column d dash x into dy, d dash x into dy. Okay, so we'll multiply these two things and we'll put the answer in the last column, and we'll find the sum of all these terms and we'll put all the summation in this formula and we'll get the answer. Okay, so I hope you have understood the concept of correlation coefficient. Thanks for watching this video. Be safe and be at home. If you have any doubt, you can ask me anytime. Thank you.